Hi, welcome back to Closet Confidential. I'm Courtney Smith and this week we're in my closet. Let's go check it out. This is my closet. This is where the magic happens, I guess. Come on in. I'm going to show you all of my favorite bits. The reason I started Closet Confidential is because I love the stories behind the clothes, and for me, there's a lot of stories behind all of these clothes. I'm quite nostalgic about a lot of the pieces I have in my wardrobe. I'm going to chat about a few of my favorite ones. So I don't really know where to begin. I don't have my wardrobe organized the way some of my guests did. It's a little bit more chaotic, but I just like to be able to see everything. One thing about my style has always been that I've always kind of been drawn towards vintage pieces, original pieces. For me, pieces like this, which is a Ralph Lauren jacket, I'm absolutely obsessed with. I got this on eBay. I mean, you can see it's very worn. It actually came in quite good nick to me. I think I've just worn it to absolute death. I love the shape of the collar. I just feel like it's such an unusual piece in my wardrobe. And I feel like if I was to define my style, I would probably say it's a little bit 70s, but with a bit of a kind of rock edge. So you'll see a lot of print, a lot of vintage, a lot of leather in my wardrobe. I'm not very trend driven, which is funny because I'm a stylist. But it's not something I've ever really fallen into. I fall in love with pieces and I fall in love with prints and textures. This is another vintage piece that I got on a UK site called Bowie & Singer. And again, I just fell in love with how unique the print was and the color, the pastel tones, and that kind of oversized blazer shape that we're seeing. This, oh my God, this is another. I got this in Oxfam. I think it was like €50, but that kind of like, it was before even the really oversized blazers were in. And this is an original Balmain. So like, I mean, all my fashion girls know how much this would cost in today's age. So this was an absolute steal. And again, another reason I love vintage, because you can find designer pieces for way less. This is a new piece for my wardrobe. Part of my campaign for the last Closet Confidential. I found it on Zalando. It's by a brand called Bali. The leather is so soft and I just couldn't leave it behind. So, but I absolutely love it. And leather is something that you'll see I invest in a lot. It's just one of those fabrics that really suits my style and works into all the different pieces that I have so well. While I'm here, I'm going to show you my shoes because it's something that I have a penchant for. These are D-squared. I got them in a consignment store in New York years ago. I want to say like 10 years ago. They're completely impractical because they're about 2 sizes too big. But at the time, I didn't really care because I loved them so much. They were straight off the runway. Yeah, I'm obsessed with them. And I still wear them just with big chunky socks. They fit. These are a brand called Paris, Texas, that I'm a big fan of. I love cowboy boots. Actually, I love cowboy boots so much. I have way too many of them. Here's another pair that I got that are vintage, that I absolutely adore. And I know cowboy boots are a real like on trend thing at the moment, but these are things that I have been wearing pretty much my entire life, I'd say, since I was allowed. Going back to this rail and going back to the stories behind clothes, these leather trousers have the best story. So these are by Zadig and Voltaire, but they are a collaboration that they did with Aaron Wasson. And my best friend and I found them in Paris, and I was obsessed with them. But they were like €800, and I really wanted to get them. My friend is a lot more sensible than me, and she was like, "That's rent. Are you crazy?" And I was like, I just feel like they need to be in my life. And I didn't get them because, you know, I couldn't afford them. And I hunted them for years and years and years. And eventually I found them on eBay and they were a fraction of the price. But I found them like 6 years later, but I was still thinking about them. And they will forever be the ones that almost got away, but then they didn't because I tracked them down. This is another one of those kind of finds that I tend to get a little bit obsessive over things when I see them. And I remember seeing this and absolutely falling in love. It's a Paco Rabanne dress. Again, I hunted it down. I got it on sale for like a fraction of the price when it was kind of like old stock, even though it had been sold out everywhere. And it's now one of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe. So it's more of a recent purchase, but I'm absolutely obsessed. I've worn it to an awards show and I have a wedding coming up that I'm gonna wear it to again. It's funny because most people would say that like maybe don't invest in evening wear and invest in pieces that you're gonna wear every day. And it's a very sensible way to shop. But for some reason, you'll see here that I have a lot of beautiful evening wear, and I think it's because I'm just somebody who falls in love with beautiful things. So like this is a rotate. It's a unitard with a skirt. I've worn it to so many awards shows, but I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's so unique and it's so different. This is probably one of my early days splurges. This gorgeous little number was from my graduation when I was 17, almost 18, and I got it in a little boutique in Dublin at the time called Chica. And I absolutely fell in love with it. It was so different, so unique, and obviously completely back in now, the whole butterfly kind of 90s Y2K vibes. You wouldn't see me wearing it now, but I will never part with it. I've no idea why it's in my wardrobe and not stored away somewhere, but obviously I just like to look at it. Oh, I have to show you this. Okay, so this is another eBay find. Actually, well, this isn't. This is. This, oh my God, I'm absolutely obsessed with. Look at the detail. It's got this beautiful embossed detail. It's completely oversized. It's actually menswear originally, but I just loved that kind of grungy vibe off it. I wear it to death. It's probably one of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe at the moment. I'm realizing like a jackets girl or a coats girl. I tend to invest a lot in outerwear because it's the thing that people see the most. So like this is like a key piece for me. Chunky cardigans as well that you can layer and wear them as your coat. So like the one I'm wearing now, for example, but this one here is the same brand, Hayley Menzies, and I would wear that. It's quite heavy. I would wear that as a coat, and it's such a statement piece. Like I get chased down the street when I wear these because they're just so unique and so different. But yeah, it's something that I just love to invest in because, like I said, people just see them before they see your outfit. This gorgeous little number, I wore to London Fashion Week, probably like 10 years ago. It's by Kenzo, and I got it in TK Maxx. It's still in absolutely perfect condition, beautiful suede. And again, it's a suede bomber jacket, but it's just got that little bit of a difference with the beautiful print. So how I style my outerwear is that my kind of uniform underneath is quite simple. I tend to go for a cool jean or a leather trouser and then a simple top. So it might be just like a basic tank. It might be a little vintage bodysuit. This was my mum's. I have a bunch of them that were my mum's that I absolutely love. Or I will style them with one of my many, many, many vintage Harley Davidson t-shirts, which I'm clearly a little bit obsessed with. This is something that I've been doing for as long as I can remember. I've been collecting them. Every time I travel, I'll go to a vintage store and I'll pick up a Harley Davidson t-shirt if they have them, or I'll go into the Harley Davidson store and get one from like the locality. But like this entire drawer is just crammed full of Harley Davidson tops. Like it's an obsession. Okay, let's chat bags, because I'm not really a bag girly. It's not something that I get obsessive over, but I do have some nice ones. This beautiful little Louis Vuitton crossover I got for my 30th birthday. I gifted myself a little Louis Vuitton, which I love. I just think it's such a classic, but again, has a little bit of a difference, which I adore. And then this gorgeous little number is a vintage Gucci, and I got that from Lou's Lot Shop, which is a really cool vintage store in Dublin and online as well. And I just loved the kind of classic everything Gucci, but it's a real throw everything into. Like I wear that on a kind of daily basis. It's a good everyday bag. But this is the one that you're going to want to see because this is my most recent splurge. And I actually got this off the back of the series because when I interviewed Rosie in season 1 and when I interviewed Erica in season 2, they were both talking about investing in Chanel bags, and Rosie in particular was talking about passing them down to her daughter, and that really resonated with me. And Chanel, it's an expensive item. It's a big investment. So I've been saving for a while for something that was going to be special, and I decided it was going to be this. And it was very much off the back of doing this series. It kind of inspired me to finally take the plunge and get myself a little Chanel. But again, I had to go for a classic with a twist. So this little hardware here is quite different. I feel like it gives it a very kind of like late 80s, early 90s vibe. And I'm obsessed with it. So this is definitely one of my new favorites in my wardrobe. This is probably the most nostalgic piece in my wardrobe. So this Louis Vuitton was my granddad's, and he was the coach for the Irish Olympic sailing team and for all of their kind of competitions. This bag was gifted to them at the America's Cup, and I love this so much because it was my granddad's, but also because he wrote in biro on the inside his name, and I just think it's so sweet. I don't know many people who'd write in biro inside their Louis Vuitton, but it's just such a beautiful nostalgic piece that I will forever have, and it's just really beautiful. One thing that I think is really important to me is investing in Irish design because we have some incredible designers out there. And for me, I have a few key pieces I want to show you. This is a beautiful top by Sorcha O'Reilly, who I am absolutely obsessed with. She has dressed some huge celebrities, and I just had to have a little piece of her in my wardrobe. Absolutely obsessed with this. I also have these gorgeous little pink shoes by Nikki Hoyne. I started working on her first campaigns, so I'm a big fan of her. She does these kind of coquettish, really girly, but like cool, chunky heels, so very comfortable as well. But I absolutely love these. And then Nia Cowan as well, who is an amazing designer. It doesn't really do much on the hanger, but I tell you now, once you put this together, it looks absolutely amazing. You have these like puffy sleeves and a kind of crop top as well. And then, of course, Aoife McNamara, who is an incredible sustainable designer. I love this kind of oversized granddad shirt by her, but of course I had to get the matching corset, which I absolutely adore. That's the back of it there. But it's made from sustainable fabrics. She's an incredible designer. And I love this because it looks quite girly for me, I think. But then it's the type of thing that, again, I would style with like baggy jeans or like leather trousers and amp it up. Thanks for joining me in my closet. I will be back very soon with more very stylish guests.